Hey makers, this is Dhruvin, and in this episode I'm going to talk about agent flow in the world of Copilot Studio. In my previous episode I talked about the difference between agent flow and cloud flow. At the time many of you requested me to create the complete video on the agent flow. So in this tutorial I'm going to talk about complete agent flows from start to end in detail. So first of all, in this tutorial, I will start my journey by explaining you what exactly the agent flow is and how you can get started with that. What kind of licenses you required in order to start with the agent flow. We'll talk about that in detail. After that, we will take one use case and we will create one complete agent flow from prompt. And after that, we will do end-to-end testing for that. So let's get started and talk about agent flow in detail with me. But before that, if you haven't followed me on my Twitter and Instagram so far, do follow me. All the links are available in the description box. So without further delay, let's get started. So last time when we were talking about agent flow, we have seen this screen. Whenever you open the Copilot screen, now you are able to see one option over here called flow. And when you click on the flow, you have an option to create the new agent flow in detail. When you click on new agent flow, probably you are able to see two different options over here. Either you can create your agent flow from the designer, or let's say if you are go directly over here, you can create the agent flow by just writing some sort of prompt over here as well. Now, at the time the question also arises in your mind that what was the difference between Power Automate versus Copilot Studio agent and when to use what. I already covered up that in my previous comparison video of Power Automate and Copilot Studio agent flow. If you haven't watched it so far, just check out the link available in the description box. In this video, we will focus more on the agent flow side. So first of all, let me just explain you the theoretical definition of the agent flow, what exactly we can achieve with the help of agent flow. So in simple word, agent flows are an intelligent automation feature in Microsoft Copilot Studio that streamline the repetitive task and orchestrate the workflow across the different apps and services. They can be triggered either manually or by events or by agents, or you can schedule that as well. Similar like Power Automate, right? You can do the autonomous trigger, you can write the manual trigger, you can write the schedule trigger, anything you can perform it over here. Each action in the agent flow consumes the Copilot Studio capacity, and that is making them ideal for scalable rule-based automation. Now, this is the biggest advantage that we are getting with the Copilot Studio agents. Generally what happens here is when you are talking about the Power Automate world, you require either Power Automate Premium license or Power Automate Per Follow license, right? And obviously those licenses are assigned to specific users. But let's say whenever you are doing the Copilot Studio kind of automation, and let's say for an example, there is a need of creating some sort of automated process, at the time better to use Copilot Studio agent flow, because those agent flow doesn't belongs to any Power Automate licenses. It includes from your Copilot Studio's capacity licenses only. That is the plus advantage we are getting there. And it is not bind to any specific user. It is bind to specific capacity. Alright. Now, at a comparison, you can always watch it out from the description box video. Now, let me just talk about what are the key benefits you are getting with the help of agent flow. So generally when you are using the agent flow, you will having the consistent execution, simplified workflow creation, and it provide end-to-end visibility of complete process that you are developing with the flow panels in the Copilot Studio. Along with that, the other advantages are you don't require any external licensing, and that is what it is providing you the unified experience into Copilot Studio XL. It is great for building the intelligent assistant, AI agent, and automated business workflow for your processes. So now let's deep dive more into the practical use case over here. So without further delay, let's get started towards that. So first of all, let me explain you the business use case over here. So here I do have one Microsoft form, and this is the real use case that I am generally using for my own company powerplatformtrainings.com. Generally, I am conducting different live trainings for my students. And generally what happened here is on our website, or generally whenever you visited my YouTube videos or Instagram videos, sometimes I have the Microsoft form link where you can just submit your specific questions, right? So sometimes I'm generally having the live training program every month. So generally I'm having this kind of form for my training inquiry. So generally what happen here is like you are filling your name, email address and inquiry for. So underneath my company, I'm performing the different trainings like Canvas app, model driven, automate, Power BI and Copilot Studio training, right? Now let's say for an example, if you think that, okay, I want to enroll myself to the model driven training, and specifically for that, generally, this is the common question most of the time people are asking me that, okay, when the training is starting and what's the course fee or what's the course content, right? So generally just ask the question over here and submitting this out. Now what happen here is, as soon as you submit your inquiry, behind the scene we have the automated agent flow over there, which is basically understand automatically that, okay, for which training you are inquiring for, and basically for that it will automatically respond to you via email, right? This is the use case I wanted to achieve with the help of agent flow. So without further delay, let's get started towards this use case. So the very first thing we need to understand here, the licensing of the Copilot Studio agent flow. So the very first thing is that you can start publishing the agent flow only you have the capacity at your environment level. So let's say for an example, over here I have one of my environment over here, Copilot Studio. Now let's say for an example, I want to assign my Copilot Studio capacity to this environment. How can I do that? For that, simply clicking on the setting gear over here and clicking on Power Platform Admin Center over here. Now, when you click on the admin center, it will redirecting you to the new admin center over here. So let it to be open. So this is the new modern admin center. Now, from here, you just need to click on the licensing section from here. So I'm simply clicking on that. Once you click on licensing, over here on the left hand side, you are able to see the different option available like Power Apps, Power Automate, Pages, Copilot Studio, Dataverse and Finance and Operations. So over here, let's choose Copilot Studio from here. So I'm choosing Copilot Studio. As soon as you see Copilot Studio, basically it will show you all the licenses available for your organization for the Copilot Studio. Now, the thing is that over here you can manage the overall capacity for your Copilot Studio. Simply over here you can see that currently I have 25,000 of message capacity which is purchased for my Copilot Studio. Now let's say I want to assign the specific capacity to specific environment. At that time you simply need to click on manage capacity. At that time it will show you all the available environment for yourself. Okay, what you need to do is, let's say for an example, to this environment, if you want to assign some sort of messages, click on that and provide the messages for yourself. Let's say for an example, out of 25,000, let's say you want to assign 10,000 messages to this one, then maybe just change over here to 10,000 and click on save. Currently, I simply applied 5,000 messages to this particular capacity. And again, Copilot Studio is completely working based on the consumption basis, which means that out of 5,000 messages, your billing will be charged for yourself. So right now I'm just keeping over here 5,000 and simply clicking on save at this point. I already saved it, so I'm not doing that activity again. But this is the first step you must need to do it. If you do not have the enough capacity, even you will not be able to publish your flow into your Copilot Studio. If you try to publish at that time, it will throw you an error that, okay, you do not have enough capacity to use or to create the agent flow. So it is the must step that you all need to perform to manage the capacity. Alright, if you are not able to do this activity by your own, maybe contact your administrator that will help you to do this activity, because most of the time at an organizational level these features are the admin features and mostly you do not have access on that. So you need to probably connect to your admins to do this activity. Alright, so this is the first thing you need to do. Now let's go to the second step of creating our agent flow from scratch, and for that let's go to our Copilot Studio. So here I am on my Copilot Studio and probably you are able to see this kind of experience. Currently, I already created one agent flow, that's why it is showing me this kind of layout. But when you are coming for the first time, generally it will directly showing you the prompt icon over there where you can simply write up your prompt, or maybe there is an option to create from designer. So when you click on new agent flow, it will start from the designer. But when you are coming for the first time, it will show you the direct designer option over here. But what we will do here is we will start from the scratch by writing some sort of prompt. And this agent flow is really efficient enough to create the complete flow for you within few seconds. So let's try to explore that part in detail over here by writing some sort of prompt. So as I explained you already my use case over here, that whenever from Microsoft Form you get the response from your user about the training inquiry, you want to automatically reply to them via this Copilot Studio agent flow. So for that, we just need to explain the requirement into natural language to this prompt over here. So let me just copy paste my prompt over here and then explain to you what exactly I have done over here. Okay, and this is again like in the real world as well. If you are really looking for any training from my own company, powerplatformtrainings.com, you can always check out our website for the detailing over there, that what training program we are having at this moment and all. So currently we are having Power Automate, but in next month we are starting the Power Apps. Then we are having Model Driven Copilot Studio, many different and interactive live program generally we are conducting for our own company. Okay, so maybe you can just simply visit our website. Simply the link is available as well in the description box. Okay, so simply I have written this prompt over here, and let me just zoom in my prompt over here as well. So what prompt I have written here is, when a new customer training inquiry arises in Microsoft Form, check for which training we received an inquiry for. If it is Power Apps Canvas app inquiry, then reply them with start from May 5, 2025. So generally I'm going to start the training next month with this date. So I'm just mentioning that. If for Power Apps Model Driven app, then reply them saying it will start in the month of June, because in June we are starting it. We will announce the date soon. That is also something I wanted to include in my context, right? If it is Power Automate, then reply them that it has already been started and you missed the current schedule. Next batch in the month of August. Okay. For Power BI inquiry, inform them it will start in the month of June. Okay. Then, and if it is Copilot Studio, tell them it will start in the month of July. Make sure while you are replying, you use professional and friendly tone. Greet them first with contacting them for Power Platform trainings and then reply via email. Okay, simply this kind of prompt I am writing over here. Okay, and let me just open up the same prompt over here in my notepad as well. So if you just simply want to copy paste this prompt from here, you just take a screenshot and copy paste from it. Okay, so I'm just pausing over here for a moment for you to copy my prompt from here. So this is what the prompt looks like. Okay, so simply I elaborate my requirement in just a natural language. That's what I did over here. Now I need to simply click on send button over here. So let's click on that and let's see what exactly it come up with. So basically it will try to understand that context, and Copilot will start creating the agent flow for me. So let it to be created over here. So let it to be happen, and over here it created the complete agent flow for me. So you can see that if you like this AI generated suggestion, choose keep it and continue to do the configuration. So over here it has two parts, same like Power Automate. Okay, we can compare this product completely with Power Automate, because ultimately in the background I can see this is nothing but same like exact Power Automate. You can do everything that you are doing in the Power Automate over here. Only thing is that I can see as a difference is it come up with different licensing. Power Automate was different licensing. Okay, apart from that you can do exact same thing over here as well. Okay, because the thing is that, like, you know, when you do certain sort of automation, it will create the flow properly. But again, when you provide more complex prompt, again it's a AI based, right? So it can do still some mistakes, and you know you need to correct it out. It support all the Power FX expression, all the JSON parsing, everything which we are doing in the Power Automate, everything is supported over here. Okay, only biggest part is generally when you are working with the Copilot Studio and autonomous agent, it's better to use this as a product. Otherwise, you can still go with the Power Automate if you are already having licensing and all. And the biggest advantage here is it consuming simply your Copilot Studio capacity. So if you're in your organization, if you're already having that, I mean, this is something which you can use. So you don't need to go with a separate Power Automate licensing for that. Again, it's the biggest advantage I can see over here to use the agent flow. Okay, now over here you can see this is trigger and this is what which is action. Okay, now here couple of things we need to understand here, that I provided like, okay, I have 5 training program, Canvas app, model driven, then we have like Copilot Studio, Power BI, right? So what it has done, it created my prompt, but it just did the very silly mistake here. So what it did is, whichever prompt I provided to it, it just tried to do if else condition, right? But as a programmer, when I'm thinking about, it is better that, okay, if as a human I'm going to create a flow, maybe I will write some sort of switch case operation, that it can be on specific inquiry for, and then it will be going into specific switches, right? But it didn't do it that activity efficiently over here for me, because again, it's an AI generated flow. So if you are a no code or low code person, maybe you can proceed with that. But here I will use my own mind as well to make this prompt more better. So what you can do here is, when you scroll it down over here, there is an option, keep it and continue, number 1. And second is, you can add your additional prompt as well over here if you do not like this one. Okay, so maybe let me just add some additional prompt over here. So I'm writing over here, use switch case instead of if. Okay, and let's hit enter and let's see, does it really understand my context over here, and will it be able to change out that context for me, or maybe redesign the flow for me? Let's see what exactly it did. And yeah, it did its job perfectly, you can see. And whatever I have done as an instruction, I just added that at the end over here, and this is how exactly it looks like. So you can see my trigger is Microsoft form, and then it just get this information, and then it apply a switch. And for different things like Canvas, model driven, automate, BI and Copilot Studio, it just added the different node. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, and now let's click on keep it and continue, and basically this will create the complete flow for us. Let's click on keep it and continue, and first of all, it is creating a connection for you. So you can see this is what it is creating, the connection for you. And simply over here you can able to see your complete flow on the right hand side as a preview, that okay, this is your trigger and this is all your actions. And let's click on create over here. And as soon as you click on create, basically this will create a complete agent flow from scratch. So let it to be, and here I am. You can see this is now exactly the modern interface of Copilot Studio. Same like Power Automate as well, you are having the exact same thing. Power Automate modern interface looks like exactly the same one. But again, here we need to little bit change out couple of configuration. But ultimately the basic flow is created, basic agent flow is created. Okay, what you can do is even if you just wanted to save your draft, you can save it out, or you can start configuring the field one by one. So let me start configuring this one by one. So first of all, here let me just pick up the form. So let me just pick up my form over here, like okay, trading inquiry form 2025. So I'm selecting that. So first trigger I set it up. Let me click on the second action over here, get response detail. So again here let me select my form, training inquiry form 2025, and this is how it looks like. Then compose action, it just added, thank you for contacting Power Platform Trainings, blah blah blah. It just added this unnecessary one. Okay, probably I can delete this out because I permanently don't need this out, so I can remove this out. Okay, then switch on which field you want to compare against. So when we are having selected the form, when you click on dynamic content, This is exactly like say a same feature like Microsoft Flow. So over here I'm just inquiry for field, I can just configure it out, and over here it just added the different switch case that okay, canvas application. Then even if you expand this out, it has an action send an email, and it just added this unnecessary output. This is what not I was expecting. And generally whenever you are trying, this is what exactly I have observed as well with this agent flow. Generally, honestly speaking, I'm a technical person. I know few things over here and there, but still sometimes it is unable to understand the prompt. Or maybe sometimes what happen here is, if you are writing the same prompt at multiple times, you can copy paste it and maybe generate the same flow from your end as well. It is slightly generating the different outcome every time. Okay, that's what I sometimes like. AI's behavior is a little bit different over there. So here, instead of adding the content, maybe it just added this concat one, right? So this is what not I am expecting, right? Ideally for canvas application, I already instructed them that okay, you need to send exactly this kind of message, but it didn't follow this instruction. Okay, so maybe what you can do is, maybe you can just change it from here as well, that okay, what exactly you want to perform over here. Or maybe as a human, if you just wanted to change your message the way you want, then probably you can change it from here as well. Okay, so let me just do one thing here. So let me just configure over here send an email, and maybe I'm just switching to the advanced mode, and I'm sending this reply back to the same person who has sent an inquiry. So over here, that this is what the form looks like. We are providing email field where person is entering their email address. To that, I just wanted to send it back. So what I'm doing here is, I'm still doing this thing over here, and I'm sending it email back over here. Okay, perfect. And now you just need to provide your subject a little bit, that okay, what subject you want to provide. So you can just provide like Power Apps, Canvas app, training inquiry, response. Okay, and maybe you can just provide a proper message over here, hello, and then you can just greet with that person name that we are having over here. Hello person, thanks a lot for contacting powerplatformtrainings.com. Our Power Apps Canvas app training program is starting from 5th May 2025, and this is the final date, guys. Even if you want to know more information, check out our websites. Okay, fees detail, I don't want to disclose the fee over here. Thanks and Power Platform Trainings. Okay, I'm just wanted to make it a very simple short message over here for myself. Okay, so that's it. Similar way, what I want is I just wanted to configure the other fields as well. Over here you can see that it provided the proper message. See, this is good. This is where I'm impressed with, but the first one it didn't. So maybe I just need to configure this one over here, hello and then person name. That's it. Already message has been written, and maybe I'm just writing over here at the rate thanks Power Platform Trainings. Okay, and similar way, I just need to provide the addresses over here. So I'm just doing the 2 email address and simply providing over here the email, and let me just provide the subject over here. So I'm just providing the similar subject, but instead of this Canvas app, maybe I will just choose Power Apps model driven training inquiry, and maybe I can just make it dynamically over here as well, inquiry for. So model driven app inquiry response, like this. Okay, you can do this as well. Then for automate, let's see what it responded. Yes, it is also perfect, right? I don't need to do major effort over here. Hello and then person name, but only for the first one I need to do. So that's what I'm okay. That's fine. Again, sometimes it's generating like that. So again, like it's AI based. So you just need to always bear with that. Okay. Email, and maybe over here you can just provide inquiry for response. Okay. And maybe I'm not wasting my time to create lots of content over there. Instead of that, I'm just simply trying to focus on configuring my flow over here. You can pause over, I'm just pausing over here for a moment and configuring this thing out for other two things. And here I am. I have configured each of my node over here perfectly, like Power Automate. If I open everything one by one, you can see this is the message I configured perfectly. Now it's just a matter of saving and testing this flow. So I'm just clicking on save draft over here. And after that, let me just publish this out. Again, when you are saving and publishing, if you are getting any kind of error related capacity, which means that you do not have proper licensing. So make sure your environment, whenever you are creating this, it must have the proper licensing assigned over there for yourself. Okay. And let's click on simply publish button over here to publish this flow out. So I'm just simply publishing this out and let's see what exactly happened. So the flow, agent flow is going to be published over there and all good. Over here, you can simply go to the overview section where you can see the similar thing for yourself. And over here, you can see this is the difference. Generally, when you are creating the Power Automate, at the time the plan will show you the Power Automate license, but over here it will show the Copilot Studio, which means that this flow will run under the Copilot Studio plan over there for yourself. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now let me do one thing. So this is my agent flow looks like. All right. Now, even if you just wanted to change the name of the flow, you can change it later as well. So I'm just changing the flow name as training inquiry auto response. So let me just change this up and let me click on save over here. And this is how generally it simply store the flow over here. All right. Now the thing is that what next activity I want to perform here is I simply want to test out this particular flow. And for that, what I'm going to do is simply submitting one Microsoft from inquiry, and after that let this flow to be triggered out for myself over here. Okay, and if you just want to go to the designer again, you can go it over here, and in activity basically you can just check out the all the activities, and in analytics it will just provide the overall analytics for your flow. Okay, so let me just do this activity completely over here. So simply what I'm doing here is I'm just going to the designer over here. I'm just clicking on testing, and let's click on manual testing over here and click on test. This is exactly same like how you are testing your Power Automate flow as well. And let me just submit this data over here. So I'm just adding my information over here, and I'm just adding my email address. And simply I'm just inquiry for Canvas application at this point, and maybe like details. I'm just adding some sort of question like this and clicking on simply submit button over here. And let's see what exactly happens at this point over here. So I'm just going to my designer, and you can see that it's still running on, and it will trigger this in a few moments, and it just triggered out. And similar like flow run, you can see this complete activity happened as well. It has sent me the email as well. So let me just check the send email box from my email box, that what exactly the email I got it. Okay, as well as you can see this complete run history as well. Even if you go to the overview section, similar like flow, you can see over here agent flow run as well. And even if you go in your activity, basically it will show you the activity as well for your agent flow that you have created over here. And analytics slowly it will start appearing over here for a flow run and other things for yourself. All right, so we tested that as well. Now let's check out the mailbox over here quickly. And here I am. I just opened my mailbox, and this is what the exact email I'm getting from my automated agent flow over here for myself. So my Power Apps is starting from 5th May 2025, right? So this is what exactly my use case is looking like. And this is how exactly the agent flow looks like and behaves like. Now, tell me in the comment section what you want to achieve with the help of agent flow over there. All right. Again, many amazing new features are also rolling out in the world of Copilot Studio. So every Sunday, try to follow me. Every Sunday, I will try to, show you out some more Copilot Studio capability in future. With that note, I would like to end up today's session over here with the agent flow. Tell me in the comment section, what do you feel about this new feature which is available? What do you think about the comparison of Power Automate versus Copilot Studio? Or maybe check out the description box for more detail over there and share your thoughts with me. If you are for the first time to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and press the bell notification to never miss any updates from me. 70% of you are watching my content but not subscribing me. That's not fair, guys. Subscribe it so I'll get more motivation to create such more AI content over there. If you are looking for any paid training from powerplatformtrainings.com, you can always visit out my website. The links are available in the description box and check out or inquire us for more training that you are looking from me in a live fashion. With this is Dhruvin signing off. See you in the next session with some amazing content. Till then, have a great day ahead. Goodbye.